Hello and good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Decay Within the Ice. Welcome, everyone. How's everyone doing today?
Hello, doing good, my
Hello.
friend.
Good.
Doing
I'm
pretty
doing good.
alright.
Cool. All right. Very good to
Cool.
hear. So, small talk. How's everyone's day going? Tell me about your events in your lives.
I spent 4 hours weeding.
Weeding?
Just crawling around on my knees.
And not the good kind.
No, not the good kind. These were just
Oh, no.
grasses that were growing where my boss did not want grasses to be growing. So we just had to rip them out of the ground for 3 or 4 hours.
Oh, that sounds fun.
So, not even weed whacking, you were literally just on your hands and knees pulling weeds?
Yes,
Oh, Jesus.
and I have bad knees.
Man, what the fuck?
Oh.
No.
Well,
Shoot.
I just came back from the gym. I got a +1 to strength this time.
Oh, nice.
Mm.
nice. Did you make any new games?
Hell yeah. I have
Nice.
gained soreness.
Oh, that's part of it right
Nice.
there. Not speaking of, this is just segueing. Do you guys, is anyone able to do like a sound check just to make sure everyone's volumes are okay?
Give me 1 minute.
Okay, I just want to make sure volumes are good before we continue. I think we've gotten them pretty consistently decent the past few episodes, but you never know.
Yeah, no,
You
here, let
never
me
know.
just test my own right now. I'm
Alright,
watching
hold
stream, I wanna
on.
make sure everything's
In
okay.
a second, start saying shit, alright?
Okay.
Give me 1 second.
In the meantime, I will. Audrey, do you want to give people a little update on how Miss Mayabird's doing?
Will I ever? She is doing A-okay. She is biting me with more vigor than she ever has before. She's flying well. She's got more energy. She's eating. So all's well that ends well. We just got to keep a close eye on her. I'm happy to report that it doesn't look like we have very much to worry.
Wrestling Fan 47, thank you for the follow. That's good. That's great to hear. I'm so relieved that she's been doing a lot better. If anyone has been following on Twitter, or even a little bit in the Discord, Maya Bird wasn't doing so good. Had to go to the emergency vet. Had to get X-rays
We
and
need
shots.
to boost the volume.
Whose volume?
Everyone's.
Everyone's.
Oh.
Everyone's.
Are you sure you just don't have your volume low?
No, I'm confident.
All right,
Man's compliment.
I boosted it. I bumped it up a little
we-
bit.
Do we
Hello?
sound better now?
You want to do another check?
Yeah, how's
Testing,
this?
testing.
Does this sound reasonable?
Do we
Yes.
have the volume? Oh, you know what?
Testing, testing, testing.
Much, much better. Good.
And you know what I
Yay.
just remembered? I did something kind of silly, and I need to... There we go. That might help a little. Even though... Okay, this is the weird thing. Does anyone else use Wallpaper Engine?
Nope.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Okay, have you guys ever had the issue where you're running Wallpaper Engine, and you have a wallpaper running that has a volume to it, but you turn the volume off in Wallpaper Engine, yet it's still somehow playing the volume?
No, I
I'm
haven't
sorry,
had that
what?
issue. When I turn the wallpaper off, it usually stays off.
No, not the wallpaper off. Like you
Or,
go
I
in
mean
the
the sound for the wallpaper off.
Yeah, no, I turned the sound off and it's still playing the sound, so I just have to completely like shut it all down whenever I start. I didn't even realize that. Someone had to point that out to me.
What is Wallpaper Engine?
Wallpaper Engine is a thing you can get on Steam, and I don't remember how much it is, but essentially
Yeah.
you just you can utilize it to have fun animated backgrounds for your PC.
Oh, interesting.
But
So you're
if
telling
you
me
join my Kickstarter, we're making engines out of wallpaper.
Oh,
This is not sponsored. We just, would
not
like the
sponsored.
application.
I just like Wallpaper Engine, but I didn't realize it was still playing sound even though I set it to not play sound.
Are you telling me people don't just use the default rotating wallpapers?
What do you mean rotating wallpapers?
You
Oh,
know how like it just goes through the 5 pre-selected wallpapers just over and over again?
yeah, I forgot about that. And I do not.
No,
I've
I
been
don't
looking
do
at
that.
the same rolling green hills since 1995.
No, literally, my wallpaper is the same as it has been since like the early 2000s is what I'll say.
So do you have that
Wow.
wallpaper that's got like the grassy landscape with the blue sky background?
Yes.
It even says buy your copy of Windows.
I do have a small thing that says activate Windows now. I'm just kind of living with it. It doesn't bother me all that much.
It is what it is at this point. Well, that being said, do you guys
Microsoft sponsor us so we could get Andy.
so we can get Andy some help? Do you guys want to get into the game?
Do I ever?
One thing, I did just have an interesting thought.
Okay.
If I had the ability to use the wish spell once, I would wish that there was no sound. Not that people couldn't hear sound, just that sound itself as a concept didn't exist. And it was just infinite silence.
But what do you mean? How could you still hear sound if there was no sound?
No, that's the thing, is there would be no sound. Things would make no sound. You could drop a rock down a hill and it'd be silent.
For those of us that enjoy music, I have to say, no, bad idea.
Yeah,
But
I
you
think
would
I'd be a
get
little
rid of
sad.
Also, what do you mean you use a wish spell on this? Are you serious?
Yeah, if I had one use of wish, that's what I would do with it.
The way Wish works, it was probably would just make your character deaf or something.
True, yeah. I can see that. Like a funny Jin joke.
Yeah.
Probably.
Folks, this is the player that you consistently give community inspiration to. There you have it.
Brilliant choices.
If you give them more tools to succeed, they will get rid of sound. Anyway,
All
Sounds like
right.
a worthy goal.
That being said, Alvara, would you care to give us a recap?
Yeah. Session 4, 1 week ago today. Following the conclusion of their last encounter, the party rescued an unconscious Toro and reclaimed the chapel ledger. They doubled back to follow Audrin, entering the mysterious mirror into what appeared to be an old pirate's lair. There they discovered a pale red book in a language they could not immediately comprehend, and a locked treasure chest. Upon cracking the chest open, they discovered a cache of treasure, but their newfound gains were quickly disrupted by the white dragonborn apparating before them, ready to fight. After a few moments of combat, numbers cast calm emotions as the party sought to reason with their phantom foe. It was at this time that Humi performed for the spirit, dancing and singing a shanty with Audrin as Avara cast prestidigitation in the background, providing special effects. Having appeased their ghostly captor, the group was permitted to leave the mirror realm, with Audrin walking away with an ornate new sword and Alvara concealing 2 magical rings from the rest of the party.
All right.
I'm sure that's going to end very well.
Yes, so when we last left off, they had claimed their prizes, with Alvara making out with one away from the party. So, adventurers, before we leave this cave, is there anything you wanted to do?
I'm good.
We have one of the stones, the green ones, correct?
The
Mina
Vivianite?
has a small one.
I also have a small one.
Also, Mina would like to chase after the one who ran away with the stuff.
Alvara?
Yes.
Okay, and speaking of Mina, I almost forgot to announce, but community inspiration this week was won by Mina! Yay, Mina!
Thank you, everyone!
Woohoo!
And how?
And I believe player inspiration was given to Humi.
Indeed.
Woohoo!
Yay.
Alright. So you want to chase after Alvara.
That is correct.
Alvara, how fast are you trying to get away from here?
Just walking at a brisk pace. I'm not trying to run from the group.
Okay,
She's
so
trying to separate herself from it.
so say by chance you see a fairy hauling ass after you.
Yeah, I think Avara's just gonna say, "Leave me alone, Faye."
Why can't the rest of us know what that is?
I need to conduct a little bit of research into it myself. I have no problems giving it to the rest of the party in due time.
So you'll tell us what it is afterwards?
Yes.
Seems fair.
Okay, gang. What
Alright.
is it you'd like to do? You want to
Alvara's
leave? Or could
Alvara's gonna keep walking with like a deliberate intent.
Okay.
Getting out of here.
Humi is going to cradle the child who is still unconscious,
Yes, that is correct.
and they are going to walk at a brisk pace, trying to also keep up with Alvara. Not really to talk, just to get out of here in an expedited nature.
Okay.
Okay.
Alana's gonna follow suit. She is also very curious as to what the rings do. She plans on talking to Alvera as soon as she can once we get out of this dark, damp cave.
All right. Audryn, what's happening to you?
Whee!
Oh
Sorry.
my god.
Audrey's gonna follow suit. He's kind of got his attention on his new sword that he's like kept drawn. He's kind of giving it some practice swings. He's got a big old smile on his face.
Oh yeah, you got yourself a new sword right there. Oh my
He's-
god. What is...
he's-
Y'all are crazy. Oh, Humi's going nuts.
You
All
know
right.
what's really funny that I just realized about the flying
What?
mechanic in Tailspire
What's that?
is it will go up automatically except for when the terrain goes up, and then you just stop. You can't move forward.
You're not allowed to have elevation, I'm sorry.
I'm just stuck.
Are you actually stuck? Can you fix it? Well, it's not... I guess it's not that
Well,
important.
I can elevate Mina
Yes.
as we go.
Where is everyone?
Oh, they
We're
went to
near
the
exit.
they went to the beginning of the cave. Okay. That being said, as quickly as you came, with an unconscious Turo, you leave into the night, heading back to the Abbey. If you can, let's switch over to the board, Cliff Harbor Abbey.
Cool.
All right, we'll do just that.
Home, sweet home.
And I will drop you guys. Because I'm realizing I have to place you guys each time. Alvara. Audryn.
There's probably a hotkey for that somewhere.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. They keep adding a lot of stuff.
You just gotta check if there's an app for that. There probably is.
An app?
I'm being
What-
told there's an app for just about everything.
What there might be is there might be like a way to cluster us all together into like one command prompt, so you could just drag and drop all of us at once.
I would love that. And honestly, what I would really love is there's a unique creatures tab. What I would love is if I could like organize that tab into either like subsections or folders or something. 'Cause that would also just make it a lot easier. Because this is, I can see this getting really crowded really fast. So like, I don't know. Audryn, you're on top of a tree.
So be it.
How did you get up there?
I'm climbing.
Alright. So, with a quick pace, you make it back in the night to the cold and quiet Cliff Harbor Abbey. Not much light can be seen coming from inside the abbey, given that this is the middle of the night. The silence of the woods surrounds you as you approach, with the cold autumn air at your cheeks.
Humi is gently going to be trying to wake the child.
Kind of just like wrestling her as you walk, or...
Yeah, just saying like, "Hey, we're home. Come on, time to wake up."
So, Humi, you notice that she's sleeping soundly, however, she is not waking. Like, she doesn't seem to be in any kind of a distressed state. But she's not waking up. Oh my.
Can I do
Numbers?
a medicine check
You can.
to?
And this is as you are walking up to the entrance of the abbey?
Yes.
Mina would like to help with that.
Thank you.
Oh
have-
my.
Oh dear.
Well. I got 6.
With a 6? There's nothing medically wrong seems to be going on with Turo. What is happening to you?
I was trying to get rid of it.
This happens at
Mina,
every time.
are you, would you like to catch up?
Oh, where is Mina?
Over off
All the
to
way
the
back
side.
here.
Ah,
Near the flowers on the trees.
And I'm sorry, Valana, what was that you were saying?
I was wondering if it was possible for her to do like an Arcana check. If that's, I don't know if this makes sense, but what if I wanted to know if she was given something to drink to make her sleep, or if she was put under a trance, like with magic? Like, do we know that? Like, did we confirm that last
we
session?
did that last session when you were
Okay,
after. We
okay.
tried
I
to
wasn't
check,
sure.
and I don't think we were
Okay.
able to discern much.
We did
Yeah, I
roll
don't
high enough
believe
to
it
do
was.
that, and the
Okay, was it like a
spirits will
good
aid
roll,
you.
or was it just
No, I
like
don't
not a
think they
It
good?
was
rolled
like
well.
somewhere in the middle. Yeah.
All right, so
Like
that would just
12
be a
or something.
d20.
Yeah, just
Plus
roll a
a
d20 and plus your,
1d4.
your Arcana.
Okay.
Oh, we got
Oh.
a sippy, by the way.
I'm
Everybody
giving
So I
you
rolled
a
guidance as well, so roll a 1d4 to add on top of that, alright?
Oh
Okay.
yeah, you had
so that's-
guidance casted on you.
Oh, so that would be the number 4 dice in addition to the d20 that I just rolled.
Yes.
Plus whatever
So
modifiers you have for
18
Arcana.
plus 1d4.
And then you've also
Okay.
got to add your Arcana modifiers.
It's 18, 19, 20.
21.
21?
21 plus for modifier for Arcana. What does that fall under again? I'm struggling to find. Okay, so that's plus 2, so that's a 23.
Okay,
Very
so with a
nice.
23, you can tell that there's a little tinge of arcane magics coming from Turo. Not strong, just a soft, quiet, almost like a blanket of magic around her.
Okay. And can I share this with the group?
You can if you choose to.
Do you think it's gonna? Okay. So as Valana appears over Humi holding the child, she tries to sense any magical or energy that could be radiating off her, and hopes to figure out why she is so deep in this slumber. As you said, she feels a slight bit of energy, and she decides to turn to the group and tell them, I don't know if this is any help, but I feel a slight bit of magical energy radiating off of her, and it's leading me to believe that it's possible, in order to keep her asleep, they performed some sort of spell on her in order to induce this deep sleep in which she cannot wake.
Oh, Valana, you're so smart. Thank you.
Q question mark.
Alright, gang. What's the party doing?
I think Alvara's gonna just keep walking in. I would presume she would probably get to the gate first, and would she see anybody inside still? Like, are people still up and waiting, or is it quiet in the courtyard?
So as you approach, the doors to the abbey are closed.
They're not moving either if I try to push on it?
You could push them open.
Alright, I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
You're not gonna knock first?
No.
Can Mina fly up and over the
After
wall?
they've already had an intruder tonight?
Alvara's
wouldn't be-
gonna take...
I wouldn't be surprised if there was just a sniper waiting in the wings
Right?
for whoever opens the door.
Like Boone and New Vegas.
You take
just
5d20 sneak attack damage. I'm gonna just step through. She's gonna look around first before moving again and just see if anyone's there. I'm assuming everyone else is probably right behind me as this is happening.
Alright, and as you enter the abbey, it is dead silent. The lights are out.
Okay.
The doors are closed. But you hear you could hear some soft murmuring maybe coming from the chapel area in which you guys had set up shop for the night. Does anyone else follow Alvara? What's everyone else doing?
I'm just gonna
Mina-
do the same.
I would like to follow quietly and check out that whispering.
Yeah, Alvara's gonna just move towards the chapel.
Mina would like to fly over the wall and make a perception check,
Go for it.
if that is allowed.
Also, should we make a stealth check right now if we're going to be
I'm not
creeping up towards...
sneaking.
Okay.
Humi is going to start walking into the abbey, and they are going to proclaim, "Good evening, we're back."
Oh dear.
You yell that out loud?
Yes, audible enough that if someone's within earshot, they could say, "Oh shit, someone's here."
I think Alvaro would be opening the doors too, like as this is all happening. I don't think she has any reservation right now about any of this. This just seems like they're inside talking.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
think she
Mina
would
got a
open the door.
15 on her perception check.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Tailspire's
I'm-
giving me like a little
I'm
bit of
going
heck.
to, just for the sake of it, Audrin's going to roll to help Mina to look around. He's naturally wary about any area that looks too quiet, especially since they already had intruders. So go ahead and roll again, Andrew.
That would be a 19.
Wonderful.
And that was for perception?
That is for perception.
Okay. As you fly above the abbey, you notice it is quiet and still in the night. The folks that you had seen active and about throughout the day are nowhere to be found right now.
Peculiar.
But as Humi walks in carrying a lifeless... Humi would like to open a thing. As you walk in carrying a lifeless... Not lifeless. But a still...
Sleeping.
A sleeping Turo. And you proclaim your arrival. You hear shuffling coming from inside the chapel. And soon after, the door swings open. And there's Arania, awaiting you, looking around to each of you, going, well, how did it go?
I'm gonna take out the chapel ledger and hand it to her, and then I'm also gonna say, and Toro needs your help.
She
And then
seems
just
to be
step
under a
back.
spell of sorts.
So Arania quickly takes the ledger from your hand, and as you do, she just quickly thumbs through it, flipping through the pages, just inspecting the actual book itself. With a nod, says, I thank you greatly for the return of this item. And Turo. She looks to Humi, who's
And
carrying
Turo.
A little bit of a second thought, but she does
Thanks
look
so
to
much
Toro.
for this book. I missed it.
I mean, you can roll insight on that if you want, but
I'm gonna roll insight on it.
I'm
Okay.
gonna do that as well.
I'm not, because I would have no reason in character to believe that.
Yeah, Valon is suspicious.
Okay, so it's a 16 for me.
okay. Humi?
If I'm reading it right, it is about a 25, I think. I'm not.
What
I
do
might
you
not be
mean?
adding something, but I'm pretty sure, like, just base is 25. Yep.
Okay. So with a 16 and a 25, both Audrin and Humi, you would notice that Arania's eyes did indeed flicker to the book before the child. And while she seemed at first more concerned about the well-being of the pages of the book, Humi, you notice, well, unsure, there might be a small feeling of indifference coming from Arania right now.
Humi is going to keep holding Toro, and they're going to just kind of brush past them as they get really close to Alvara and whispered to her very, very gently, I think something may be amiss here with that book.
You realize you're like right in front of her face.
Oh no, I'm like walking past, so
Okay, and
Like
Alvara,
here?
not Alvara, I'm sorry. Arania steps aside and allows everyone to pass in, and as she does so, Solda Red Flame, who was standing in the back of the chapel, pacing, comes rushing forward to Humi and is looking up and down, going, "Oh, Turo! What happened to Turo?"
well, Vilania believes that she's under some sort of sleeping spell, or something of the sorts. Not quite sure.
Alvara's gonna squint at the ledger and sort of at Arania, and then just make her way in the back here.
Arania quickly tucks the ledger into her side bag as she gestures everyone in. everyone enter the chapel?
Sure. do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I
As you enter the
How-
chapel, you notice that all of the townsfolk have actually gathered within. Not the townsfolk, but the chapel folk of the abbey have entered within inside, as they are all up and awaiting. Audrin?
Yeah, as I'm entering... Oh god, I'm really debating on this.
I'll try to take the ledger.
Do I think I'm gonna roll to try and just kind of like... Audrin's gonna stumble a little bit and just like catch Arania to like kind of like feigning like he's catching himself from stumbling, but he's going to actually use that to kind of subterfuge his way into slipping that ledger out of her pocket that he just saw her put it into.
So you're attempting like a sleight of hand kind of trick right now?
Yes. And I am... Oh, okay, yes. I'm committing. I'm doing it.
So here's the thing. That's quite the... With all the commotion going on and everyone gathering towards the entrance of where you are, you can do this. But I'm debating on if I want you to just roll sleight of hand or if I want you to roll a sleight of hand and a performance check for that.
Uh-oh.
Or deception, maybe? Not performance, one or the other.
You're like, performance isn't great for me. Can I do deception?
Actually, if you think about it, it's like decepting them, because like he's pretending to fall.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
trying...
I can see performance or deception.
This is
yeah.
this
It's a
is true.
deceptive performance.
It's a deceptive performance is the thing. So here's the deal. If you want to continue with this, roll a sleight of hand, but you also have to roll either a performance or a deception check.
What do you think, guys?
You're committed to the bit now.
Yeah,
I'm
you
commit
already-
to the
Yeah.
bit. Commit to the bit. Let's
Can
go.
I provide help at all?
I was gonna ask that.
How?
No, we don't know he's
How?
doing this.
Also,
This
he's
is
doing
spur-
this-
This was
He's
a
coming
spur of the
in
moment
last.
decision.
Yeah.
Damn
Also-
it. It didn't roll well.
You rolled a 4?
Commit
Do you have
to the
inspo?
bit. Trust the process. I don't have inspo. Commit. Okay, so for sleight of hand, that's piss poor. Because I don't even have proficiency in sleight of hand, so that's an 8.
No.
You of all people don't have proficiency in sleight of hand.
He's not that kind of rogue. He's a different kind of rogue.
He's not that
and
kind of
then-
guy.
But I could perform being like really stumbling and maybe she'll buy that. So let's see how the performance goes. Or the deception goes.
You pick which one it is.
Deception. Alright, we're working to something because I do have proficiency in that. So, 3, 2, 7, still not great. 16. So he stumbles, he kind of grabs onto her hand, kind of goes towards her pocket, but doesn't get anywhere. And then he's like, "Oh, terribly sorry about that, lass. It's been a long night.
So
When I go without sleep for too long, I get all stumbly."
So Aradia kind of catches you against her, and her hand reaches down and like kind of holds you like, you know, as if like she's trying to catch your fall. She holds you kind of firmly, but her hand does indeed block her pocket from you. But as she does, she looks to you with concern on her face, and she goes, "Oh dear, you all look like you've gone into quite the trouble tonight. What happened? What's going on?"
Pretty
Well,
interesting.
That's a story for around the fire, if you ask me. It's been a long night.
Well, quickly, go.
Could you-
Come farther in, so I can close the doors. You must be catching quite the cold.
That I am. I could do for something stiff right now.
So Arania
Which is
leads
that
you all in, and she goes and stands at the edge of the room. Solda is sticking by Humi's side, as she gently caresses Turo's hair, kind of tapping her a little bit, going, "Turo, oh come on, Turo, Turo, wake up, please."
I'm afraid we've been trying that whole night. Perhaps the spell will wear off in time. I'm not very versed in magics, I'm afraid.
Spell? What do you mean a spell? What kind? What's happening?
I'm afraid that's all the information I have.
It seems like there's some sort of magic involved here, and we're not exactly sure beyond that. I'm gonna turn to the librarian too, Feyre, and just say, do you have anything in your library about enchantments or sleeping hexes, anything like that?
So Pharaoh kind of crosses her arms as she scans Toro, and then her eyes back to you, kind of tapping her fingers against her arm, and she ponders for a moment. I might have something of the sorts, but it's been quite a while since I've looked at the Arcana, really. We could try, but at the very least, just don't know. Sarania? And she kind of turns her attention over. And as Arania beckons you all in, ushering everyone in, she stands and she takes a gaze at everyone, looking around, assessing the situation, and goes, I think the full story is in order tonight. I can't begin to understand how to help dear Toro unless I know exactly how you found her and the state of the situation. So please, if you could.
All right.
Fumi
Well,
is going to, yes, turn to Audrin and let him do the smooth talking.
Vara's just gonna walk over here and put her back against the wall.
Not even sure where to begin, if I'm being honest with you. Followed the trail for quite some time and found ourselves close to a coastal cave. One that I'm sure anyone around here has been to some extent familiar with, but traversed there, and there were some sort of scaly fish-like folk residing there. Worse still, it was undead, like you've been telling us, but not quite like us. You see, it was more like the bony skeleton kind, and they seem to be doing some sort of ritual or something of that sort.
A ritual? Did they have anything around them that they were using for such? Did you deduce anything from the scene?
I jumped up on the altar stone and saw Toro and, well, strangely enough, the ledger.
The ledger? But this is just a simple ledger of the chapel. Perhaps the fools they would do it, yet they've somehow done this to poor Toro.
There was something else too. Minna, why don't you share any of the crystals you picked up?
So you would notice that one of the crystals that I had is actually floating around, orbiting the tip of my staff, and I just grasp it and pull it down. We found a lot of this, just like spread all over the cave, but there was a lot of it by where these two undead were.
Do you mind if I see that for a moment?
Sure. And I give her the piece of crystal.
So she takes it. Oh, I turned into paper. Hold on.
Uh-oh. No,
That just
paper.
keeps happening. What the fuck?
I know, we gotta figure that out.
Maybe you should just be Paper Winnie for now.
I don't
Paper
want to be
with-
Just
paper.
enter Paper Mario.
We're not playing D&D anymore. We're playing Paper Mario.
D&D set in the Paper Mario universe.
Okay,
was
I would
actually
actually play that. That's like real
Hell
talk.
yeah.
I would play that, and I would play as a fucking Yoshi or something. But anyway, Arania takes the crystal from your hand. And she holds it up to her eyes. She kind of turns it in her fingers as she looks, and gives a solemn nod and says, "This appears to be a piece of Vivianite. Where did you find this? In that cave?"
It was all
Yes.
over the place, actually. It wasn't a matter of finding it, it sort of found us.
This is just a small piece, but there was a lot of it in there. It was everywhere.
Well, do you know a Vivianite?
I know what one of my friends here told me, but I'm not super familiar with the crystals and geology of this place.
Well,
It's a corrupted crystal of sorts that symbolizes death and decay, and that's the extent of my knowledge on it.
Arania nods at this and goes, "You could say as much. While Vivianite itself is, well, I should say could be harmless, it is a sign of large amounts of iron, typically found on those of decaying bodies. Blood. The fact that you found, as you say, so much of it in this cave, well, I hate to imagine what's happened there in the past. I wasn't even sure that there was a cave over there. I'm kind of surprised, actually. And
Well,
you said there
there
were
was-
undead in it?
Yeah, there were two. One was big with this giant sword, which I believe one of Numbers.
Me
Did you pick
starts
it up?
bringing it out.
Oh yeah, you took it. So you pull out the sword?
I thought Audrin had it.
Audrin
He
has the
has
other
the
sword.
+1 right here.
The +1. Okay. There's okay. There are 2 swords. So
So he
Yeah, one
took
was
the sword from the white that he was fighting.
right.
Indeed.
Got it.
Arania nods. Could you describe these undead to me?
One was casting spells and summoned some fish creatures, I'm not quite sure. Then the other was, well, swinging this big sword around, but could hardly hit a wall, honestly.
Don't shit talk him. He did his best.
to
Aran-
kill us.
Okay. Well, I'm not. Okay. We're not getting it.
I think there's an important detail we're missing here, which is that none of us could read the contents of a book we found in the area where we.
Avara's gonna gesture like, "Shut up, shut up."
Not being very into social cues. Numbers just keeps going and finishes the sentence.
A book. There was another book. There wasn't just the ledger.
Right, there was another book that we unfortunately left there and completely forgot about. Sorry about that.
Can you roll a deception check?
Yep.
Does anyone else add anything to this, or?
I'm gonna add,
No.
yeah.
It's gonna be a 16 plus 3, 19 on the deception check.
Okay.
Probably good.
So Arania nods and goes, "It was not of importance, was it? It wasn't one they were using for this."
In my opinion, as a mage, I would say it was not of much import now.
I
Okay,
thought you
Numbers
put
is
that in
picking
your
up the cues
bag.
now.
Mina, what'd you just say?
I said I thought you put that in your bag with the ring.
No, that was no. You were thinking of you were thinking of something else.
With the
Oh, yeah.
ring. What
Yeah,
ring?
she found a ring there that she wanted to study and do some research into. I don't know what its purpose
Avara's
is.
just gonna roll her eyes like, "God fucking damn it! This group doesn't know when to be quiet."
Got
And then
in there
stare
last
at.
week.
Well, I
Nadia.
think what's happened
The one
is
is gonna, like,
Alvara fancies someone
Visibly
in the group.
cringe.
Okay, so
Um,
Arania just kind of looks right to you, Alvara, and goes, "Please tell me, what did you find, and where did you find it?
I've
Anything
already
that could
stated
help
before.
to aid in Turo's recovery would be most
We-
helpful."
We also found this other strange mirror thing, and we passed through it.
I
It
had
had a bunch of
performance
stuff.
of lifetime.
Is
That
Audrin
is
saying
very
anything, or?
No, he's like standing like stock still and kind of keeping his mouth shut.
So he's just T-posing in the back?
No, he's like got his arms crossed. He looks like he's trying very hard not to let down a poker face.
Did Humi just turn into Audrin?
Yes,
Yes.
Humi is just going to mimic him for right now.
Are you still holding Turo, or did you hand her off to Solda?
I put Toro on the bench to lay down
Okay.
and gave her my bags to like put her head on.
Okay, so there's just 2 Audrins in the back. As everyone is chipping in this information, Arania's eyes do flicker to the back as she notices there are now 2 Audrins, and kind of quirks an eyebrow, but then shakes her head and resumes back to everyone else. So, what you're saying is you found another area to this cave. Is this of importance for these undead?
Fairies in their stories, right? It's fascinating how much people can talk about things that didn't happen, and I'm gonna be staring like at Mina as I say this.
Mina is gonna stare you back down and say, "These people took us in and showed us hospitality. It is Fey custom to honor all hospitality to the best of our abilities. We shouldn't lie to them or try to leave out any details.
All right, fair enough, but I'm not getting rid of my well-gotten gains. You know what I mean? And then he pats his new sword.
But we
Yes,
should...
I do agree. We will not give our ill-gotten, well-gotten gains.
It's a work in progress, son. I respect it.
Thank you. I'm trying all I got.
Very nice, Humi. All the townsfolk, by the way, as this is happening, they're just kind of staring at you guys, kind of in awe of all of this. Feyre is kind of looking to back and forth between everyone, hearing the tale of there's new books, those that can't even be read. Her interest is piqued, and she, Laura. Malrim, he's standing off to the side. He's nodding his head a bit. He looks a bit somber in these times, and he kind of raises a hand and goes, "Well, this is all well and fine, but what do we do about the child?"
Does anyone here know how to maybe, like, remove curses or something like that?
Arania raises a delicate hand as she nods, and she says, "Leave this to me. I will tend to Toro through the night, and I'm positive that by morning, I'm sure we will find some kind of resolution. We will not let Toro stay in this condition, that's for sure."
Also, I did have a question about that ledger we brought back. They seemed really intent to protect it. Is there perhaps, like, some sort of hidden message or something in it? Is there a possibility that there was some record of something that happened long ago?
Not to my knowledge, though. Perhaps I will browse through it through the night just to make sure. There were no... If the implication here, if there were any evil spirits or deities that have been in the presence of this chapel, that is absolute. But I will...
I don't see how that implication was drawn. Where did you get that from?
Well, this is obviously evil magics. If
Right.
if the undead were looking for some kind of incantation or solution from this book, I can guarantee you it can't be found here.
Can
Is-
Valana roll a... Valana does not trust her right now. Can I
Yeah, I want to roll
roll
insight on that too.
I want to roll insight on that. Because ever since, we first walked through the door before that, I haven't trusted her by the way she's been acting.
I would also like to roll insight on that.
Can we
Alright.
all roll insight?
I am
Everyone
going
can
to-
roll insight. Oh, numbers.
I do not know anything.
Natural 20 on the die.
He
Let's
do not
go.
know
Beautiful.
he ABCs. Meanwhile, Alvara knows all the ABCs.
I know the alphabet forward and backward.
That's
And
a,
insight is associated with wisdom. Plus my proficiency.
that's a 21 for me.
Anyone?
Okay, that is a 17.
17 for me as well.
It's a nat 20 with a +1 is 21.
Anyone?
What the what?
Wait, you only have a +1?
For insight, yeah.
Oops, I rolled again by accident. Sorry.
fine.
Warlocks
Ignore that.
No,
aren't
I'm sorry,
wise.
22.
Warlocks. If they were wise, they would have entered those deals.
Okay, give me 1 second. Okay. Oh wait, who all had a 21? Besides
I did.
Alvara, it was Audrey.
I had 22.
You had 22?
Yeah, I don't know if the natural 20 would impact it at all either. But...
You technically cannot critical succeed on skill checks.
Technically
Nor can you
not.
critical fail.
But I will say that is quite... It's not a flaccid 20, but it might be considered an erect.
Oh.
So,
Goodness.
Alvara, Audrin, Umi. You get the feeling that she's not telling the But while what she's saying, it doesn't seem like she's lying, but there might be more of the story. Rest of you? Seems like she's giving an honest cause.
Is there anything, I guess, more regarding the ledger that we could parse out?
You do not have the ledger.
No, I meant like about her intent with the ledger or anything regarding the ledger beyond like, there's more here.
No?
There was something Mina wanted to ask.
Sure.
Real quick. I've heard stories of like evil creatures and stuff being sealed away. Is there a possibility that something like that happened in the church's past?
A creature being sealed away?
Either a creature or I don't know, some great evil sealed away hundreds or thousands of years ago. I heard about that in stories that that's what happened with a lot of churches.
Hmm. Well, while that may be, in this particular church, as far as I'm aware, that's not something that's ever happened here. But regardless, I need to tend to Tor. This cannot remain in this state for the. She needs urgent care.
Let me know if you need any help with anything. I'll do what I can.
I greatly appreciate that, Mina. I am so sorry to have troubled you all with this, especially with your first night here. And your first night joining us back, that is. This is most unpleasant, and I do apologize.
Humi is going to conjecture just before she says her goodbye. Is there something of a past with spiders and this abbey?
With spiders?
Yes. With spiders, or perhaps someone who has a silver tongue?
I don't recall any stories about spiders, though. I mean, everyone knows that old nursery rhyme. But why do you ask?
Well, you see.
Nursery rhyme?
Oh, right. I'm terribly sorry. My young compatriot over here. He's never heard of a nursery rhyme before.
You know,
Even
I was wondering which one you were referring to.
Itsy bitsy spider.
Sinking. That's what I was thinking about.
Oh, that one.
Well, the rhyme in which I refer to was, it's one of those old, scary nursery rhymes that parents used to tell their children. I suppose make them behave better. You know, the tale of the cold spider.
I'm
Cold
not familiar.
Neither am I.
I only know about the tail of the warm spider.
Oh, really? How does it go?
I'll tell you when you're older.
So Arania smiles at this, and she goes, "If you're interested in nursery rhymes, I do believe we have a book on it in the library. Isn't that right, Miss Feyre?" And Feyre nods at this and goes, "I could have sworn, actually, Lot already had a look at that."
We did.
We did.
I know for a fact we did.
Well,
So-
then you know where to
I'm
find
not
it
very
should you
good
need
at
it.
reading.
Elvara and I found it before.
Yeah, we did find it before.
And Feyre says, "Well, then you lot should know where to find it should you need it." That being said, Turo is returned. Maybe we should all get some rest for the night.
That actually reminds me. I completely forgot. I did find this in the cave nearby where we fought the undead, and Mina's gonna take out the little spider figurine that she found.
Oh, you have the spider statuette?
Yes.
Okay. And you pull that out?
Soon as-
Who, me?
Yes, I do.
As soon as Humi sees this, they immediately change back to their normal shape.
Okay.
I don't really know what it does, but I do sense magic on it. I was hoping I could identify it tonight or something.
Arania kind of glances it over. She doesn't touch it, but she does kind of look around it as you hold it and go, "I couldn't quite determine what this is for.
Maybe while you look at Toro, I'll try to look over what this is. Maybe I could figure out something about it.
If you come to any conclusions, then that might be most helpful, but I could not give you an answer at this moment. Right now, my attention is focused on purely getting Turo back to her full self again."
Yes, and I'm sure everyone else is getting tired. It's been a very long, long night. I'm sure you were all worried sick.
All the
Alana
townsfolk
is-
nod in agreement.
Belana's kind of antsy to get out, but because she wants to talk to Alvara about the rings and she wants to see the book that she has. So is it possible to just say, well, I guess really she's going to yawn and say, yes, I'm quite tired. I think it's time to retire. And I'll be on my way. Alvara, would you care to join me?
In a moment.
I want to see
Alvara,
that book.
no, okay, I got that, but in character, Alvara doesn't know that. I think Alvara is just gonna put a hand on Solda's. That's her name, right?
Yeah, her name's
the older
Solda.
sister. On her shoulder as she walks past her, and just like give like a comforting touch, and then leave, without saying anything else, and just head upstairs.
Okay. Does everyone else retire to bed? The
Yeah.
townsfolk, such as Feyre and Malram and everyone, start to.
Oh,
I
where
want
are we
to
going?
follow. I wanna
You
follow
guys
them
are
upstairs.
upstairs in the church itself.
I want to go
I-
look for the children's book in the library.
Where the hell did Alvara go? I need to find that.
I went
bitch.
upstairs.
Where?
I'm gonna join.
here.
Audrey's gonna join numbers.
Okay.
Okay.
Whomies
I'm
go run
coming.
off on their own for a little bit and go to the top of the ramparts.
Winter, can you teleport me to
The
this
very
roof?
part she watched.
Mina would
How to
like to
get in
join.
Here, you gotta open the
Alvaro,
door.
and Valana.
What's Mina doing?
Joining us.
Mina would like to. Yeah, I would like to join them if possible.
Okay. And I'm going to say Feyre retires to the upstairs of the library where she is residing.
How do I?
I cannot. Okay, there's Humi. Okay, I see you up there. I see Numbers and Audrin in the library, and I see Mina and Valana in the chapel. Is that right?
No, I'm
That is
trying to get
correct.
upstairs, but I don't know how to do that.
There's a small hole by the entrance of.
Would you like me to teleport you up
Alternatively,
there?
just shift and click, and then you can
There you go.
teleport.
Yeah, shift click is.
Thank you. I didn't know that. Here I am.
Okay. So what is everyone doing?
Audrin is kind of gonna go up next to Numbers with a book in hand, trying to be all subtle like, and he's gonna have the tome open, and his eyes down on it, seeing that the librarian is here as well, and
She retired upstairs.
Oh, okay. So he's gonna stand next to him with a hushed voice and say, "Hey, Numbers, don't mean to interrupt, but do you got a moment?"
Absolutely. I look around and see just the two of us. What can I offer you, Audrey?
Thank you for the raid core. Welcome, we're playing
Hello,
D&D.
everyone.
Hello.
Well, listen, I don't mean to look hospitality, horse in the mouth, or anything like that, but did you get the feeling that Rania wasn't telling us everything about that there ledger?
Numbers is he's sort of like not very socially intelligent in terms of like insight into other people's intentions and things like that. So he's just gonna say to Audrin, "No." Did you observe anything you think we should be cognizant of? As I search for a children's book in the library.
It might have just been me. I don't mean to set alarms off whether or not do, but something about the way she was talking about it. I just can't fancy myself being real comfortable sleeping just above her, you know what I mean? And the way I see it, well, us fish out of water, we gotta look out for each other.
That's right. That's right.
All right.
Do I need to search for this book or?
It's still sitting actually on the table from where they had left it prior.
Can I review say Audrin that lead that the woman had gave us about spiders? We don't have many other leads as far as getting to the bottom of this whole situation. I think we should take a look at that rhyme once again.
Fair enough. I'm gonna begin looking for it. Mind if I roll an investigation?
It's on the table.
Oh, you already got it. Okay. Shit, I gotta get rid of this die.
What are
Don't
y'all
pay any
doing?
attention. All right, let's go read through it a little bit.
It's right here on the table.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm
so
gonna
do y'all
stick-
begin
That
flipping?
you're inside.
Yeah, you
That's
are.
right, baby.
Oh. Do y'all begin reading through the nursery rhyme book that was left on the table?
Sure. Let's see if
Sure
we can glean
do.
any clues.
Alright, so you flip through the pages once again as before. You see some familiar. You see one about a mother goose. You see one about 3 mice. And then you stumble upon one with a sprawling spider across the pages.
How does it read?
It reads, in a corner, dark and dreary, lived a spider cold. Icy webs it spun its throat, a frozen web, no warmth, just dread. Spider crept through nights, its touch a chill, frosty bite. Its legs like icicles, sharp and thin, shiver ran down every spin. Children huddled close in fear as the spider whispered, icy and cold. Its voice a whisper, a chilling tone. Come closer, dear children. I feel I own. But the children knew the danger there. They ran away. They did not dare touch the spider's chilling grip, where they knew its bite would freeze and strike. For the spider lingered alone, its icy lair, a kingdom of stone, a creature born of frost and chill, tale to a rhyme to.
Wow.
What in the
They read
Grimm
this-
Brothers shit is this?
They read this to children? I mean, this is not sending anyone to sleep, I can assure you that.
I'm going to tear this page out of the book.
You gotta tear it?
Yeah, and stow it in my pocket.
No, fair enough.
Not
fair
book
enough.
destruction.
Okay, so
I'm
while he
taking it
does...
with me.
I'm happy
How
Feyre's upstairs.
We just lost 15 followers.
We so I'm gonna do that trick where it's like he rips a sheet out of the book, but he like coughs while he does it. He's like,
No, I'm just gonna do it.
okay, there's no one here. Fair enough.
Alright, so you rip the page out of the book. But
Yeah, and that's mine now. Audra and I can't decipher a meaning out of it just yet, but this will help a lot later, perhaps.
this is a tool that will help us later.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, keep a close eye on that one. Let's see if we get some short eye.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
That being said, let's while this is happening, let's go over to Mina, Valana, and Alvara in the upstairs of the chapel.
Time bubble.
Okay.
I think Alvara would take out the book,
Finally.
show it to them, and just say, "Can either of you read this?"
Mina will take a look at it, but I don't know if I know how to read it.
Mina, can you remind me your languages?
I have Common, Sylvan, Gnomish, and Druidic.
Okay, so as Alvara flips the book open and goes across some pages, you don't seem to recognize any of the writing. But Valana, can you remind me of your languages?
Common, Elvish, Dwarvish, and Draconic.
Okay, so Mina, this looks like a bunch of gibberish. Can't understand what this is saying. However, Alvara, you can read this.
You mean Valana?
It looks, yeah, Valana, you can read this. You understand the words that are being written here. As you can tell, they are in Draconic.
All right. Valana's eyes are going to widen as she states aloud, I can read this. This is in Draconic.
That makes sense. We did get it off a Dragonborn.
Can DM tell Valana what she is reading in this book?
Sure, so you pick it up and you start kind of flipping through and reading it?
Yes.
Okay, so as you flip through, you can gather that this is a book that appears to be something that of a journal or a diary that was written by a one Aldrock Udamorn.
What a name.
Well, that name might not sound familiar. As you flip through it, you can kind of gather from these pages that these are all little short notes and tales from this Dragonborn's expeditions. You can gather that they actually were quite a successful pirate that had their own fleet and made quite some enemies. This is a diary of their travels.
Okay.
Can you spell the name, please?
Aldrock, Aldrocc. Udamorn, Udomorn.
Thanks.
Is Valana going to see anything that could potentially be helpful with Toru, or with figuring out, what the hell was going on in that cavern?
With the cavern, no. But from what you can gather, with as far as regarding Toro and her state, no. But what you can gather is that the place that you found this diary in seemed to be that of like a hidden trove that this pirate lord stashed his belongings in his secret wells before his timely demise.
I'm gonna chirp up real quick as Valana's reading it, and I'll be like, just sort of asking her, well, what does it say?
Valana is going to answer while as she keeps reading, because she can multitask. I'm not finding anything of importance other than it's a diary, it seems, of a pirate. And it documents his endeavors, his journey throughout his lifetime, and different things he's done, seen.
That must have been the pirate from the cove, then.
Yes.
See if it mentions Audrin at all. It appeared from their banter of sorts. There was some sort of weird relationship going on, almost. It could have just been a pirate connection, but maybe there's something else in there.
I'm not sure. I'll keep reading. Would Valana have to roll for that, or would DM be able to tell me if it mentions anything about Audrin?
I just opened a panel in Tailspire. What the fuck did I just do? Sorry.
I don't
know. As you flip through it, you don't see any writings of one named Audrin.
Okay, so then Valana will look up at Alvera and say, I don't see anything mentioning him, I'm sorry. I think it was just good old pirate banter, perhaps.
Fucking alias. Alright, I'm not gonna say anything, because the character would know that. So I'm just feel like I'll just nod.
Valana is going to continue to skim over the journal to see if there's anything she missed, but she is also going to ask Alvara, what about those rings? Can I have a look at them? Maybe we can figure something out if we study them tonight.
Alvara's more guarded in response to that question, but she is going to take the rings out, and take out the little black sack that they're sort of being stored within, and put it on the floor in front of everyone, taking out the 2 rings. From what I sort of gleaned myself over a cursory examination was these rings allow some sort of connection between the 2 wearers. And I'm not really sure beyond that. I took them because they were of a magical curiosity to me, and I wanted to know a little bit more about them, but perhaps you 2 might have some insight. And I'm also, as I say this, gonna make, if the DM's alright with it, another Arcana check to see if, like, now that I'm actually sitting here and have the ability to really go over this without the pressure of, like, the space and time that we were in,
Yeah, go for it.
do I notice anything maybe more specific?
There are rules.
I would also
Well,
like
the
to
thing
roll
is that out of curiosity, does anyone have the Identify spell? Because there's only so much you can glean from an Arcana check.
No,
There's
I
also
don't.
a something you could do over an hour, like on a short rest.
Yeah,
where
you
could
could.
spend
You
an
could
hour.
spend an hour studying it.
That's what Mina was planning on doing with the spider
Yeah.
she found. I don't
It
know.
probably wouldn't hurt for us to look over the rings while you look over the spiders, potentially. We could get more done that way. Like, I could keep looking at the journal. Alvara could look at the rings, and you could look at the spider, but sort of like, over the course of an hour.
Yeah,
That sounds
that's fine.
solid.
Seems like a good idea.
Sounds
So
like a
study
plan to
session
me.
for the upstairs group.
Yes, but
Yeah.
Valana would, if possible, like to roll an Arcana check because I obviously didn't get
Oh
to
yeah,
last
so
session.
since you weren't here last session, feel free.
Okay, just because I'm curious about those damn rings.
We gotta make up for
You don't
lost
trust
time.
what Alvara said?
No, I do. I'm just curious myself, and that doesn't matter because I rolled a 4, so we're just gonna
Alana, they
ignore
look
that.
like a pair of silver rings. All right, so
You can ignore that. That
Okay.
was an accident.
Find
Umi,
this. Yes, who me?
What are you
Humi
doing?
is on top of the ramparts in the moonlight, and they're sitting cross-legged by the fire. They're going to take up their Taraka deck, and they're going to start aligning them to do a reading.
okay.
Spirits, spirits of parental views. Tell me if any children have been lost to tales of spiders. They're waiting for any potential spirits to interact with them.
And you're drawing cards?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so give me 1 second so I can actually pull these cards. I'm assuming this is like a tarot deck.
Yes, it is. But it's called a Taraka deck. Taraka.
Araka.
Potato Pataka.
Okay, and what was your question?
I'm basically asking any parental spirits or whatnot if they've ever had trouble with children in the past here, with anything like in magical sense.
Okay. So you draw a card. Draw the 5 of Cups. And you would know the 5 of Cups is a classic staple of Greek. It depicts a black hooded figure. 5 spilled cups. Do you draw another card?
I do.
Draw the 9 of Swords. You would know the 9 of Swords represents a lot of anxiety and sleepless nights and stress and work.
And I pull one final card to finish the reading.
Pull 10 of Swords. It illustrates a fallen soldier, 10 swords stabbed through its body. Illustrates loss and devastation. I am paper again.
And the spell is complete. Paper once more, you return!
What did you do to me?
Paper.
Alright. Humi
This was his
is
son.
going to ponder this as they start heading down the stairs and back to their sleeping quarters. As they do, they're just going to look out over the ramparts and see if they see anything else in the night.
The night appears to be still. The autumn air has come to gentle breeze. The soft silence of the trees giving way to the night.
They retire to their bed.
Okay. Does so everyone else is convening in the upstairs bedroom, I presume?
Mm-hmm.
Is this like the gathering point?
Yeah, I will say this. The moment Alvara hears and sees someone coming up the stairs, she's going to grab the magic rings and kind of shuffle back onto her.
How do I get upstairs?
So for that you're gonna have to shift click your character and then just put them upstairs. Like teleport style.
Anna is going to
Yeah.
retire to her bed and continue reading the journal to see if she can discern
Does-
anything else.
Does everyone go
From-
upstairs? Here, I'll help you all out. There's Audra.
Yeah, Audrey's going to.
There's
There are
numbers.
people intruding upon my space.
Whoa.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Everyone remember their bed? I remember mine.
I was in the middle, but now I'm in Numbers' bed. That's okay. Numbers can have my bed.
Let's switch.
Okay.
Is everyone going to their bed?
I'm trying to get
Yes.
cozy.
Okay.
Cozy.
Now, is there anything else anyone would like to do before sleep for the night?
Mina's just gonna finish meditating over this spider for the period of time, the hour-long
Okay.
period necessary.
Vara's gonna do the same for the rings, and also I'll be trancing, not sleeping.
As elves do.
Yep.
Okay.
Alana's just gonna read over it a little bit more before bed, before she
book?
actually goes to sleep.
Okay. So, and is that what everyone else would like to do? Is everyone else just passing out?
Humi is going to be tossing and turning in bed, but eventually finds slumber.
Great. Before we come to a break, I will go ahead and go over what everyone's events happen as you're studying these objects. Mina, you spent some
Yes.
time studying over the spider statuette, and the more you begin to study it and look, the worse of a feeling you get in your stomach. By the end of your study, what you can't quite seem to tell who or what this object was meant for, but what you can tell is it is an object of grave ill.
Dun, dun, dun.
Alvara, as you study over the rings, tossing them around in your hands, kind of running your fingers along the metal, after an hour, you can deduce that these dun, 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 are the rings of shared suffering.
What?
You
Okay.
must share in the suffering.
Go on.
And do I know everything they do and everything that comes with it?
You do. So these rings come in linked pairs.
Yep.
You use a bonus action to perform a link to these rings and the other creature that has the bond. So the bond is like, one person wears one, the other with the other. Whenever the main person that wears it forms a bond with the other person wearing the other ring. Whenever that creature suffers damage, they only suffer half that damage, and you take the rest. This effect continues until it ends as a bonus action, or until you or the other creature removes their ring. The effect is not limited by range, and a creature cannot be attuned to more than one ring. So two people
Be
wear
great
the
if you had a
rings,
tank.
they split damage, essentially.
Okay.
We do have a tank.
And
I
Valana,
will put them away for now.
Okay.
But I have an idea what I'm gonna do with them.
and Valana, as you read through this book tonight, as if it's like your little sleepy time book, you're kind of reading along the tales of this pirate lord. You learn that Aldrock had a fleet for several years. He was independent from the circle of pirate lords that are around the nation of Ashana, and he had a flagship called the Stormhull. And what you can deduce from the last entries in his journal is he made quite the enemy of a black dragon that began to follow him and his fleet till the end.
Okay.
It's just a fun story.
Okay.
And
Just like that nursery rhyme, right?
yeah. Okay. And as you all settle in for the night, sleep does find you as you rest until the next. And that's where
Do
we're
we
gonna
have
take a
any-
break.
Break time.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, baby,
Break
I'm making a
time.
second drink. Yeah.
Ooh,
I
I
will
gotta get
be
another beverage too.
RB.
I'm going to take
I'll
a
also be
take a
back.
pee break, smoke break, snack break, whatever it is you need to do. I'm going to swap the music over from this fucking spooky shit over to
Ooh,
this.
spooky.
There, let's just do that. Alright. Take a stretch, take a break, get whatever you need. We'll reconvene in about 10 minutes. I, myself, am going to be right back because it is Miss Maya Bird's medicine time.
Medicine.
Medicine.
I will be back in 10 decades. See you then.
Hey, 10 decades. I'll be right back.
So, how's everyone in the chat doing? Doing fine myself. Thank you for asking. Just getting through the week, one day at a time. Thank you for telling me I sound like a zaddy. Not quite sure what zaddy is, but glad to be one. Thank you. So, over the holiday, did anyone see any good fireworks? Also, shout out to Jay Martinez 96 for being a new follower. Thank you.
All right, Elvira is back. The doctor is in. Anybody else here beyond Gonzo? I heard you talk.
Indeed, and I did hear a little bottle opening ASMR. So tell me, what are you drinking tonight?
Oh, you heard that? Yeah, only a land shark. It kind of sucks. I don't have anything good here.
Damn, I gotcha.
My
Thinking
brother
about having a
brought me
pale
to it.
ale myself.
Yeah, it's a bitter call. I normally don't drink this unless I'm like in Orlando, Florida or something. But it just happened that someone brought them over and I had a couple left, so I was like, all right.
No, I feel that. I definitely have my regional drinks as well. Whenever I find myself in Florida, I usually go a lot for pina coladas. Very
Yeah.
refreshing in the searing heat.
So how is chat doing? If anyone's here, probably have a lot of lurkers.
Any long-time listeners, first-time callers, want to introduce themselves?
Viewer count just like drops to 2 people. Whoops.
God damn. And that's my charm for you.
All right. All right.
So tell me, have you seen any good fireworks lately?
No, I didn't really partake in the whole thing. Although actually, it wasn't even on the 4th, but like some random house had like a fountain firework going off this past Saturday.
Hell
Just
yeah.
like in an apartment complex, just like one of those big like fountain ones. I was like, this does not seem like a sound decision.
I'm sure it's fine. What's a little gunpowder and coloring? It's all good.
Accidental arson is accidental after all.
Exactly. You just say oopsie, and then everything's fine.
Alright. As a lawyer, I can confirm. For
There
anyone in
you
the
go.
chat, as long as you say oopsie, it's fine. And this is not legal advice.
Hell yeah. I ended up going to a town nearby and
Yeah.
saw a
They have a
couple of
show.
fireworks in it. It was
There you
nice.
It's cool. I mean, I'm kind of, I don't know, I feel like I've personally just like grown past it. I'm always into it,
A
you know?
childlike arson in me will never stop loving them.
There you go. I'm like, this is cool and all, but is it worth me almost burning my hand off? in the process? And the answer is probably
That
not.
is why you dare someone else to do it.
Or you just say oopsie and then your hand comes back.
Exactly.
Oopsie is the cure to everything.
I'm back, and I need to know what a zaddy is.
I'm back.
That's the
I
daddy.
sound like a zaddy. I'm not sure what a zaddy,
Zaddy?
is.
Who called you
The
Zaddy?
sexual- Someone in the
It's just a
chat.
friend. A good friend.
A
I'm
sexually
back.
attractive man,
Oh wait, I
especially
know
an
who
older
this
one
is.
who's
Hey, how's it
fashionable
going?
or charismatic.
Man, I tell you what, that bird's gotten so good at taking her medicine.
Well, I mean, she's still
Aw.
not good, but she's getting better.
Yay!
We're still missing 2.
Yep, we still got a little bit of time. I did copy and paste that nursery rhyme and put it in the Discord for you guys.
Yeah, I
Thank
pinned it.
you so much. So I have a question for you, Winnie. Do you think that Maya is just rolling higher on medicine checks, or that you guys are rolling higher on animal checks?
We are rolling
Man.
higher on animal handling.
God damn, there you go.
Don't get me wrong, we're still failing every single check. To be fair, her difficulty rating is really high.
At least you have help.
Yeah,
That's
it's
Yeah,
true.
I'm
it's
helping.
True.
He's the one that's actually getting her.
If it weren't for the advantage, we'd be stuck doing this for like an hour a night.
I don't know, that actually went really fast, even though she was a little defiant.
It's okay. It's in her nature. She's allowed.
Is Alvara here? No. Okay, I wanted to ask a quick question.
I was here before, but I was the one who said we're still waiting on 2 people.
That's what I thought, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, but I took my headset off because I was eating candy and I didn't want to be loud.
Oh, okay. So we're missing Numbers and Mina?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I like the cricket chirping noise. Reminds me of summer.
Chirping.
We should have BB beeping noise soundtrack. Just beep.
We're adding a new.
I return.
Hey, welcome back, buddy boy.
I know.
I got a beverage that's very like herbaceous. I think it has like rosemary in it. I got it at a farmer's market this past weekend.
That sounds
That
good.
sounds good.
It's all right.
It's just alright.
Yeah, I overpaid, but it's fine.
Oh. On a scale
All right, let's
of 1
get
to
some
10.
ASMR action going. Ready for this?
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Oh my god, now that's some ASMR for you.
All right, now ready for this one?
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
That is an abomination.
Hurricane
What the
Katrina!
Listen to Zach, I
More
love
like
it.
Hurricane Tortilla.
That was fucking crazy.
Mina, welcome back.
It's like a 6.5.
It's just a 6.5?
Right. Yeah.
So it's drinkable. It's drinkable.
Yeah.
Just,
Well, I'm not gonna throw it out. Paid a lot of money for it.
It is indeed liquid.
It's liquid.
That will
It's-
hydrate you.
It's like interesting. It'll hydrate me in the good way.
Mm.
A way that makes me feel less.
Alright, gang. How y'all doing? Y'all ready? Are y'all in a spot where you're ready?
I'm
I was
feeling
born
it.
Sure
ready.
am.
Yeah, I'm just still eating candy, but I'm good.
We
What are
just
you
waiting
eating?
Mike and Ike's Tropical Typhoon is the flavor pack.
Oh my god. It's
Are
like
You
you
a,
should have
like
chosen something else.
it's like a
No, the
hurricane
regular
in love.
Mike and Ike's are okay, but the flavor varietals are fucking good.
The red Mike and Ike's smack. Those are my favorites.
This is a pink box.
Pink? I didn't even know they made pink.
Pink box.
He's just
You want to
eating
hear the
Benadryl.
flavors?
Yeah.
Immediately. An
Of course,
immediate
I
kick.
should have known who I was talking to. Kiwi banana, Caribbean punch. That's just
Ooh.
shit that's made up. Strawberry banana,
That's-
paradise punch, Very different from Caribbean Punch. You got to know the difference.
A lot of punches.
Only
And then-
real heads know.
And then mango.
What is with the punches and the bananas?
It's just mango.
Yeah, I know.
They're
Kiwi
not
banana.
really
Caribbean
You should have
Punch.
led with mango, so it didn't sound so disappointing
And
when you
mango.
got to it.
It's like the
Real.
ghosts from Pac-Man. It's like Pinky, Inky, Blinky, Claude.
Oh,
Okay. So are you ready to continue?
Yeah.
yeah.
You know it.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So as you close your eyes for the night, lay your weary heads. Sleep does find you. Though for you, Alvara, who are trancing, in the middle
Yes.
of your trance, you hear a strangely familiar sound. There's rustling. There's leaves billowing through the wind. You hear the moaning and creaking of trees as their bark bends and moves with the wind. You hear faint giggles as they scatter throughout the wind, that then quickly turn to cackles. All of
Yep.
these sounds and sensations flow through your mind until it suddenly snaps. And it's silent once.
Humi is going to be a little bit awake. Have some trouble sleeping. They're gonna try to think back on those cards. Does anything come to them?
I think real quick, but just to finish what Winter was saying for my thing, I think Avara's just gonna mutter under her breath to herself, she's still here.
She's still here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then Humi, you're thinking back on those cards?
Indeed. The 5 of Cups, the 9 of Swords, the 10 of Swords.
So string them together how you will. However, each of these 3 cards does share a common trait, and that is they represent type of loss and grief and anxiety.
Humi is going to attempt to sleep, but whether they actually get any meaningful sleep, who knows, really.
Okay. And then let me just set this over.
So you do know. You said who knows. So you know.
Haha.
Wait, who's on third? Wait, you on second? Oh, god damn.
And morning comes as the sunlight begins to beam through the glass windows of the chapel. How do you wake?
Humi is going to wake up early, around like 5:30, and just
Goddamn.
kind of sit outside where it's quiet and just kind of meditate.
I think Avara would, as soon as she starts hearing people move around, she would probably wake up too. She's still a little apprehensive about everybody. On top of what she just heard last night, she's probably a little jittery. So she would probably wake up to see, or at least get out of her trance, pardon me, to see Humi heading downstairs.
Mina would
Still in
probably.
bed. Sorry.
Sorry, it's not. Mina would probably just tuck her head out of the little nest of blankets she made, because she's a little scared after spending time and meditating on the spider last night.
Oh. Everyone else?
Valana is a pretty light sleeper, so if she hears people getting up, she's gonna wake up shortly after.
Numbers, hearing all the rustling, is also gonna get up.
Audrin?
But
Oh, Audrin's fast asleep.
I was waiting for the character who was going to hit snooze. I thought it might have been numbers. So. Oh, shit.
Audrin's out like a light.
Yeah,
Alright.
he's like not pretty either. He's like hanging halfway off the bed. He's drooling.
Aww. Is he going shh, shh, or
No,
is
he's
he
not
going
snoring.
me?
Saving grace. He's not snoring, but if he were to be, he'd be going me.
No honk shoes.
Classic.
honk
You gotta go
shoes.
with the me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If Audrin snored, would it sound like this?
I
Oh
don't
my
think
god, it's perfect.
Dude, That is something a CPAP cannot fix for you.
Oh
Like that.
God! I hate that so much.
That's how it
Sounds like a
sounds.
low fidelity machine gun.
I don't even know what it sounds like actually because it doesn't play through my headphones, so I'm just
Well-
subjecting you all to this.
Well, when you
Well,
listen
you
back to
don't
the VOD,
hear
you'll hear
Yeah,
it.
re-listen to the
Take
You
my
second
word
don't
for it when I say it
hear
sounds awful.
this? Oh God! You don't hear any of
That's right. That's why I'm doing it so much. I'm sure I'd do it less if I could hear how yucky it sounds.
probably.
So,
I would
Humi, numbers. You find yourselves in the gentle, soft morning light in the middle of the abbey.
Look at us sitting on the bench here in the morning. Who me?
Indeed. So, how did you sleep?
Oh, all right. Couldn't stop thinking about that children's tale regarding the spider. It seems to be a motif in our little adventure here. Wonder when it will come to a head.
Indeed, it does seem to be a bit ominous. I've been conversing with spirits best I can, and I'm not quite sure. It seems a tale told to be grim, nonetheless. Tell me, how did the children's book end? Was there any hope?
Not really. It was quite ominous. There was a lot of death and coldness and stings. I didn't like the sound of it, honestly.
Tell me, do these words bring you any thought? Venom
Oh.
drips from silken lips. Do not trust spider.
Where did you hear that?
Well, I convene with spirits. I hear a lot of things. That was the one thing they decided to bestow upon me.
Hmm. Something is fishy here, or should I say spidery.
Indeed.
We'll get to the bottom of this.
And talking about spiders, I'm rather curious. I can change into many different people, but I've never quite come across someone of your make, if you will.
Human?
Well, not quite human, at least from what I could tell. There's something different about you.
Hmm. Is it this? And I pull down my turtleneck that I'm wearing to reveal a set of gills. I noticed everyone else didn't have these. I thought it was a little peculiar that I do. Does this mean I'm not human?
Humi is going to mimic your gills, and no, this is not something I would say is par for the course.
Hmm.
Yes, that is unique, I would say. Uh, how much do you remember before you woke up?
Not really much of anything. I was floating in the sea. There were a couple of faces, male and female. Flashes, really. Not much content.
Might I inspect your nameplate? Perhaps there's something we could glean off of it.
My shoulder plate that has the number 127 on it.
Yes, I want to roll for a insight check.
To try and learn what?
See if I could learn anything more about it.
That might be maybe like a history check or something.
Yeah, I don't know if
history
you
check.
could. It is
Okay.
just 3 numbers.
I'm gonna give it a shot.
All right.
I rolled an 8.
What are you rolling?
For
Insight,
history.
history.
History. If it was
Hmm.
insight, it'd be a much different story.
Um, yeah, I mean, it sure is unusual for you to see a fellow with gills, but um, can't really. It's not terribly uncommon either. I mean, there were just fish people that we slaughtered in that cave. They had gills. Uh,
We slaughtered.
We had fish sticks.
Oh my! Did you say they had fish sticks?
yeah. So what can you what can you glean? And Numbers is honestly interested here because he doesn't remember much, and he's hoping this magical shape-shifting creature who must know more than him because one is greater than zero. Um, could he's curious to hear what insight he has to offer. So, me, what can you tell me?
Well, I'm not really the bookish type, but I think Alvara or maybe Villana might be able to help you. I mean,
Hmm.
it makes sense that you're kind of, turning more towards Audrin for friends and whatnot. Him being a man of the sea and all. You probably feel more at home there, but,
Hmm.
I can't glean anything off of your past, sadly. It
I
is
see.
interesting, though. It makes for a
Yeah.
good story.
Yes, I've noticed the bond forging with Audrin as well. It may have to do with him being the first face I can recall seeing in this place. Something comforting in that, at least. But yeah, I've come to respect working with everyone here, and your ever-changing face included, Humi.
Thank you so much. Out of
Everyone else.
curiosity, are they functional?
The gills. I
Is it functional?
I haven't tried. Um, maybe in the next cave, or
Fair
maybe in the next body of water. I'll give it a whirl.
Right, everyone else.
I think
What are you up to?
Alvara is gonna get out of bed and sort of look at Villana with only the slightest amount of acknowledgement possible, but acknowledgement nonetheless. And then head downstairs, and I'm gonna go check on Toro and see if I can see her or Arania anywhere, because I think Alvaro would be curious as to what's sort of happening with that.
Okay.
Seeing you guys up, Mina would immediately try to catch you guys before you got downstairs, if possible.
You'll
Oh,
probably catch
Valana's still
Alvaro
here.
halfway down the stairs.
So if
She'll
you want to
stop
walk
and
with
look up at
me.
you.
And you see Audrin just pass the fuck out next to you.
I'm not interested in him at all. I'm interested in the person who was researching magic with me late into the night.
Rude, but yeah.
That I must share my findings with.
So Valana will turn to Mina then, seeing she's awake, and say, "Good morning. Did you find anything with your studies last night?" As they're walking outside of the bedroom.
Yes, is Alvaro around?
I'm heading down the stairs.
All right. So they follow suit.
Can I speak with you guys for a moment before you
Of course.
go downstairs?
All right, Alvaro will stop and walk back up and let out an audible ugh. But come up nonetheless.
And Valana will say, "Oh, hush now. She has information. Let's hear her out."
I don't know if I can move past this door. I'm gonna be honest.
Do the
Shift click,
Oh.
shift click.
I keep forgetting shift click. Yes.
That's how you get downstairs.
That's
Humi
all-
would like to
that's the
open a
only way.
thing. What are you opening? Hey, you can't do that.
Why not?
You ain't over there. You can't do that. Where are you guys?
We're
Right.
upstairs.
Oh, okay.
Right here.
Hey, we're upstairs, right in front of where the stairwell is supposed to be.
The quote unquote stairwell.
It's all right. Doesn't have to be one. We use our imagination.
I was meditating on this last night, and Mina is going to pull out the spider figurine and be like, I don't think whatever magic in here is good. it made me very uncomfortable even to try to figure out what it was. But it seems evil. And she's gonna put it down just on the floor and take a step back.
Okay.
Okay.
Curious.
Oh, that's most interesting.
And
Not like
this
go ahead.
evil, did it feel any sort of way? Like it could have been coming from. You know what I mean, having analyzed magic before. Was there anything connected to it?
Um, I don't really know. I just didn't want to keep contact with it, if that makes sense.
I think Alvaro will, if nobody else, if Alana at least doesn't jump to it, Alvaro will pick it up.
I was waiting, but I was gonna ask if I could take a look at it. But other than rolling an Arcana check and seeing if I could feel anything from it, that's pretty much what I was gonna do.
I know, I feel like we've gotten the gist of it from Mina already.
Yeah, I mean, we could potentially see if there's anything else we could feel, but I don't know that it would be that
If I
helpful.
remember correctly, I didn't roll that high when I did an Arcana
Well,
check
let's
on
check.
it. I'm pretty sure.
Let's check the logs.
It wasn't this episode. It was like an episode ago.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, when in the
I thought you meant
cave?
like just now. Okay.
No, I didn't roll.
Yeah, then I'll do an Arcana check if you want to help me, Valana.
Yeah, I will.
Since I picked it up.
Audrey, hearing all this hubbub, do you wake up or no?
No, that my man's fast asleep.
This man is out.
It is early.
My man is snoozing and cruising.
Is this a deeply held wish of yours to be able to just do this on the regular?
I'm not even gonna
See,
re-roll.
the
That's
fun-
a natural 20 again.
The fun thing about
Nice.
D&D is that you got to engage with really wonderful fantasies, like getting a full 8 hours of sleep.
Imagine, if you will.
Yeah, I feel
I
like I don't even need to roll because Alvara's gonna
Yeah,
figure out
that's
what she needs to.
That's a natural 20 plus, I think it's 4. Give me one sec. Where's my character sheet?
I ate it.
Yeah, I think you did actually. I dropped it.
Oh, it's gone
I can
forever?
copy it real quick. Plus 4, 24.
Okay, so, and are you
I wanna-
holding it or are you just looking at it?
I'm holding it. I want to determine like the source of the evil if I can, or what I might know, having obviously been around certain entities or magic. That
So
might
this
be a
is
little
just an
more
Arcana check. So that being
Yeah.
said, you hold it, and as you turn it around in your hands, inspecting the fragile limbs of this crudely carved stone spider, you feel exactly what Mina had described to you. It was soft at first, but it was a growing and growing sense of dread coming from this little object that feels sickening to hold in your hand. And as you hold it and stare at it, you almost feel like you hear the soft little skitters going through your mind. Almost like an infestation.
I'm gonna put it down on the floor. And then just kind of look at Mina with like a look of understanding what she sort of felt, at least to a small extent.
Part of me wants to put this back in the cave. I don't think that this is a good thing to keep around.
Do you think it could attract potential negative energy or spirits?
You felt it. It felt like it would. There was something there, but I'm scared to keep it here.
I'm not really sure what we can do at this point, but perhaps this is part of a larger puzzle we're working towards, and it might be useful to keep it around and have it assessed by a wizard who's more proficient in the magical arts.
I do have a question for the DM. When I was meditating on it earlier, did I feel that it would bring any danger to a place where it was being held, or Would I roll something for that?
From what you can determine from this object, you can't. You don't feel like it would necessarily draw evil to you, you just feel it radiating from the object itself.
So almost as if there is evil, like, trapped within it. Is that, like, sort of what you're saying?
Yeah, in a sense. Like, it's coming from it, it's not that it would draw something to it, you know?
Okay.
Valana,
Yeah.
you were reading the captain's journal. Did it ever mention finding, like, a small spider-like token or something like that?
I'm afraid not. It truly was just a journal full of adventures and stories, although at the very end it seemed as if the pirate was being hunted by a black dragon.
Oh, that's horrible.
I don't see that having anything to do with spiders, unfortunately.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and say that Audrey. You guys hear a thump from the other room, and then you hear, and very slowly, Audrey kind of comes out of the door, and he's like, sorry about that. What did I miss, lads and lasses?
Right,
Mina
and
is-
Alvara's gonna head downstairs. That
Mina
note.
is going to look over to Audrin. Did anyone pick up the spider?
No.
It's on the floor. I
was
picked
going
it up
to
and put it down.
offer, if I was going to offer if Mina was so nervous to hold on to it that I could hold it for her. If she didn't want to be in possession.
Mina is going to look from Audrin to Valana and then back to Audrin and just like nod down at the spider to Valana, seeing if she would pick it up.
Valana smiles at her knowingly, picks it up and pockets it.
Audrin, you see the spider and you see Valana pick it up.
Well, why was there a second Valana?
What?
That was Alvara.
That was me
Oh.
moving my mini. Sorry.
Anyway,
That's Alvara freaking the fuck out.
Yeah, I don't know why it keeps clipping to the floor.
What's happening
Tailspire
to you?
thing.
Alvara's head.
All right, there we go.
She's headless.
So anyway, Audrey definitely sees that and doesn't say
Yeah.
anything about it at all, and then kind of approaches and says, "Don't suppose there's a way we can get some food around these parts, huh?"
I'm not sure, but I'm dying for coffee, so.
And potatoes.
No!
What's
I'm more than willing to look with you, though.
Hash browns for the morning.
Hash browns.
what's coffee? I've never had
Wait, is that a
coffee
thing in
before.
D&D?
Coffee,
Coffee,
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
You've
Yeah.
never had coffee? Is that not a
Yeah.
thing in the Feywild?
I've heard some people drink it, but at least not with my kid.
So I suppose it's similar to tea, if you're familiar with that, as in it is a hot beverage that's caffeinated, oftentimes, but it's created using a plant called a coffee bean. And they grind it up very finely, and you steep it, or you pour, rather, hot water over it.
I can
And
see
you-
why.
I don't know how to explain coffee. And you drink it. And it's good.
I can see why you say it'd be similar to tea. Does it go well with honey or sweets?
Anyway, I'm gonna go downstairs and see what the others are up to. But enjoy this little discussion of yours.
Audrin, downstairs you go.
Mm.
Do we just see Audrin walk into a wall and then clip through the floor?
I'm
Yes.
trying to go downstairs. I can't figure this shit out.
Is this like
Derek,
a
teleport your
English-
character.
Okay.
Shift tab, teleport yourself outside, lower the platform level so it's see through to the first floor, bring yourself inside.
Shift tab. Shift click. You mean?
Shift click.
Anyway.
Right,
What?
sorry. Shift tab. shift
Or
tab.
if it helps, I can just place your character downstairs.
Please do.
Okay.
To quickly answer Mina, yes, it goes wonderful with
Oh,
sweeteners
shit.
such as honey. But let's get a move on downstairs. How the hell?
Where
do I
the
do
hell
that?
did Audrin go? Where did I just put him?
Shift?
Oh, you're on the roof.
Tab.
Fucking fiddler on the roof. Here you
yeah,
go.
they can. Shift click. Sorry, not tab. Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
There you
Shift click.
Thank you.
Shift click.
Okay,
I don't
so
know.
downstairs, what is everyone doing?
So before I got roped into the convo with Mina, Avara was gonna look for Turo. So I guess she would be doing that. Does she see anything down here? I'm guessing.
As you walk
that-
downstairs, you notice that the room that is to the right of the church is closed.
I'm gonna knock.
But you
on
do
that.
hear voices coming from inside.
I'm gonna knock on the door.
Winter,
Yeah,
I don't know what I did with my character.
I will teleport you
Probably
downstairs.
on the roof.
You might be a fiddler on the roof also.
Oh no, I'm outside now,
Oh, there you
in
are.
the courtyard.
So you knock on the door, and as you do, you are once again greeted by a Miss Arania as she slowly opens the door and greets you with a warm smile and says, "Ah, Miss Alvara, good morning."
Right. How is Toro doing? I was just a little curious, and I'm gonna try to peer in the room as she's talking to me. As I say that, rather.
You peer in the room a little bit behind her shoulder, and you see a Miss Solda and a little Miss Toro awake and well with her sister.
What does Arania say? Anything?
Arania just kind of nods her head to the back and says, "Well, come in if you'd like to see for yourself."
I will. I don't say that. I just go in.
Audrey, what are you doing? You're downstairs now, and Mina as well.
Yeah, he probably is coming down as this
Yes,
is
Mina
happening. 'cause
is
there was a slight-
downstairs.
slight
Yeah,
delay.
he hears this and then just kind of walks past without paying any attention, and then he
Oh,
heads
you just don't give a
outside.
fuck.
Yeah, not really. So and then he goes outside and he sees Humi and numbers, and he's gonna kind of go up to him, stretch his arms over his head, big yaw, say, "See that you guys fancy an early morning. That makes
See that you don't.
That's exactly right, son. Don't suppose we've pursued any sustenance, you know what I mean?
Fellas, Vita.
Mina's
Well,
in the
we
church.
could always do some tater tots. As I give a sly look to Valana.
No!
I guess
This is that
let's-
in character.
Let's head towards our friend Malrum.
Go easy on the girl. She's
Sounds
the only
like
one
a
here
fine
that had the
idea.
brass to cook for us.
Malrum is waking, and he stretches his hands above his head as he walks forward and goes, "All right, I hear you griping. I can whip you up some hash browns. But I won't be needing any help this time, if that's what you're asking."
Worry not. Alana's just gonna go again in character. Oh.
This poor friggin' girl is
Poor
not going to
Valana.
escape the shadow of those
Now
potatoes.
sit your arses down and I'll get cooking. You're rushing me already.
Don't
Alright
about
then.
it. Alana sits on the table. No, not on the table. On the stool. Nope. Okay.
And
There we
while
go.
this is happening, Alvara, you go and you see a sleepy yet awake Turo as she's resting against her sister Solda, and Solda's just kind of holding her close. And Solda looks up and smiles to you and goes, "Ah, Miss Alvara, thank you and your party so much for this help."
Right. Toro, hi. How are you?
I'm doing alright, but I don't quite feel like myself.
Can you tell me everything you remember about what happened to you?
I don't remember anything. One minute I was here, and then I was here again with my sister and Miss Arania.
I'm gonna turn to Arania and just say, and how exactly did she wake up?
It took a little bit of workings through the night, but thankfully I have a bit of reagents with me. Whatever
I'm a
spell they decided to cast on this poor child, for what ends I'm not sure. However, at the very least I'm happy to see her in a better state.
As we all are. I'm a bit familiar with reagents as well, and I'm gonna tap my herbalism pouch that I have with me, and I'll be like, so I'm just very curious in case something like this were to befall myself or peers of mine more so. How did you do it?
Oh, pardon me. By reagents, I meant these reagents. And she kind of flicks her soft gray hand, and you see a little flicker of silver and gold sparks as they go across her hand.
Can I roll to see if I recognize that type of magic?
Sure.
Would that be Arcana?
Yes. Meanwhile, Malrim is cooking up some sweet potatoes.
It's gonna be a 13.
A 13?
Yeah.
From what you can tell, this is a healing magic of some kind.
Okay. Right. Well, Toro, if you do find anything, or anything comes to you rather, please don't hesitate to let your friend Alvara know. Okay?
Okay, Miss Alvara.
Alvara's gonna leave with like a scowl on her face, like the happy demeanor that she was kind of putting on for these people, like fades immediately. She steps out the door, and
Okay.
she's gonna go find everyone else.
Ah, Alvara, good. I wanted to talk to the group about something.
Well,
Oh.
you're not alone in that regard.
Well, as you could probably guess, I talk to spirits. So I tried doing another reading last night, just before bed, and, well, there were a few cards that came up, and, well, let me show you. Humi is going to take out their deck, and they're going to show them the Five of Cups, the Nine of Swords, and the Ten of Swords. I think it's relatively trying to say that, something bad happens that causes a lot of grief. Then there's a period of great anxiety, followed by loss and devastation. The reading was pertaining to parental spirits and if they had lost children in the past, by any magical means. I don't know if this has anything to do with, well, the events of last night, but it could be something. What have you all found?
Well, I'm sure you'll all be happy to know that Toro is alive and seems to be cognizant at least, although she doesn't remember anything from last night. Allegedly.
That's a
And al-
relief. I'm so happy to hear that.
Oh, and another thing. I'm gonna turn, and is Numbers looking that direction, or is Numbers paying attention?
I'm just participating in the conversation in general.
I'm gonna throw the 2 rings towards you in the bag.
It's kind of slinging them at him.
Yeah, definitely. It's not like a gentle toss. Elvara sort of whips it to him.
Are these the 2
And just
rings
goes,
you withheld from the party?
yes, they're not really of magical interest to me, but perhaps they can be of some use to the likes of you. And then she explains what they do.
Okay.
Rings of shared suffering. Sounds appropriate for a party with you in it.
I wish I had. It's so funny
Very.
because I was just about to quip too. Yeah, I wish I had someone to share the suffering I have to endure every day by being around you lot.
Oh,
Oh
yes,
my.
suffering indeed. Hi, it's an insufferable lot.
Numbers
Right.
is heartily laughing and pats Elvira on the shoulder,
She's
you know,
gonna
sort of
wince.
acknowledging that you did the right thing.
So Audrey,
She's gonna
Audrey,
wince and then refocus on the group.
Audrey?
Audrey's gonna pull up the stool next to him and gesture to Elvira, and he says, "One for you. Afraid we don't have a second for that chip on your shoulder."
Heyo.
Varus sits without a word.
Oh, there's 2 Alvaras. What the fuck?
Indeed. I was making a joke before by shifting into her and mimicking.
I didn't even notice you would shift. That's really funny.
It's just gonna become so fluid, no one's ever gonna recognize it.
Yeah.
Pretty
Yes.
much.
Thanks for that.
So,
She'll say to Humi.
as you gather around the same table as you had gathered around the night before, Malrim quickly fixes you all up a spot of breakfast. There's a little bit of hash browns and a little bit of cooked ham. And some soft salad for the small one.
But the small one.
For the small one.
In like a doggy bowl that they just kick under the table. Here's some salad for you.
No.
And as you all get served your breakfast, shortly after, Miss Arania from the chapel leaves and approaches the group with her hands clasped together. And she looks to you all and says, well, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for your hard work and diligence last night. I'm not sure what we would have done without at least someone here to rescue Porturo.
Out of curiosity, do you mind if I look at that ledger?
Oh, you're more than welcome to if you'd like. And she hands the ledger over to you.
Umi is going to clear a spot on the breakfast table and open it up. And they're going to particularly look for families.
As you flip through the
ones
ledger,
with small children.
as you flip through the ledger, you don't see any notes of families with small children. It's just notes here and there of occasional passerbys. It's more just notes of which deities were and weren't worshipped in this particular chapel, but there's not much here.
Alvara's looking at it too. Can I tell if it's the same one that I looked at? Because I did look at it in the cavern, and I want to see if it's the same one or if she gave us something else, and she's pawning it off as the ledger.
From what you can tell, this is the same ledger.
Okay.
And as
Umi is going to do a reading on the ledger, if they can. Just one card.
Okay.
So, they take out their deck, and, hovering one hand over the ledger, they pull the first card that comes to them. What do they find?
You find, with the card you flip over, you pull 7 of Swords, which you would know. I'm fucking paper again. You would know.
Would know she's paper again.
Every time you use this damn tarot deck, I turn into fucking paper.
She turns
My
into a
secret
tarot card.
spell.
I turn into a tarot card. You would know that the 7 of Swords is a card that represents trickery and dishonesty.
Interesting reading. Humi kinda tries to play it off. They're
Well-
going to... Okay, well...
Okay, so as this is happening and everyone's looking over, she looks to you all and opens her hands out and says, I hate to ask another favor of you lot so soon after you arrived. However, I do have one more task for you should you be up for it.
Well, if you hate to ask, then don't.
Oh, nonsense. What
He's
do you
right,
need?
you know.
Well, as I've said last night, the Night of Harvest Gala is soon upon us, and we will be celebrating in the nearby town of Notholm. However, we have not heard any correspondence from them, and I do have 2 letters of confirmation that need to be handed off to Notholm, one to the mayor and one to the town priest. These need to make it to Notholm to secure our spot in the gala. Would you mind traveling to Notholm for me? There you might find more answers yourselves, about yourselves and your standings, or about the events of last night. I'm not sure.
That
Yeah.
won't nothing be a problem.
Oh.
I believe we were on our way there regardless.
I guess because Alvara's just standing closest to her, she'll walk over and grab the letters,
Okay.
turn back, and just bring it to the party.
So you have the
That'll
2
work.
letters. And she'll nod her head and says, Very well. I would appreciate this very much. It's about half a day's walk on foot over to Notholm.
Well, I'm not planning anything for my day, besides some acrobatics. Do you want to say after breakfast we get a head on?
Sounds like
Considering
a good idea
I was
to me.
dead not 2 days ago, I could go along with just about any plan right now.
Cool.
Ah, wonderful.
Excellent. And in that case, thank you all very much. And we will all see you in Northholm quite shortly.
What do you mean you'll all see us in Northholm? Are you going as well?
Well, of course, that's what
The
the
festival.
correspondence letters are for.
Well, I guess... okay. Very well.
Okay. And Arania leaves and re-enters the chapel.
Does anyone else find it a little strange that they're sending us ahead with letters a couple days prior to their arriving rather than them simply going there themselves, given that they're supposed to be there anyway?
It's not as suspicious as the card I pulled. The Seven of Swords represents trickery. Something is amiss with that ledger. I don't know what it is, but I don't entirely trust what we've been told.
Yeah, there was a little bit of strange things happening last night as well.
Alright, party.
saw it
Is there
on-
anything you would like to do before your travel?
Vara's gonna finish brekkie.
Okay.
I'm gonna
I'll
finish some
enjoy the
brekkie
nice
as well.
normal potatoes.
Some nice, normal potatoes.
Is there any coffee being served?
There is some coffee being served.
Interesting.
Damn, they got coffee.
Alana guzzles that shit down because she needs it.
Seeing that there is coffee that she was told about, Mina is gonna pull out a very small cup, go over to the coffee pot, and fill the cup only about halfway. At which point, she takes out a thing of honey and fills the cup the rest of the way with honey.
Oh my.
Mm.
That sounds disgusting, but alright. Oh.
Well, what does Mina think?
Mina finds it delicious.
Yay!
I
Perfectly
can
sweet.
only ever ask, why?
Why not?
It tastes good. Do you want some? And Mina's gonna offer you the cup.
What are you, half hummingbird?
I don't feel like myself right now. I think I'll pass on the coffee.
Coffee.
You notice, upon looking into the cup, it's not moving like it's a liquid anymore. It's
Oh,
moving
God.
like it's a thin syrup.
Ew.
Valana's going to sort of chuckle at that and offer Humi a sip of her own coffee, which has a very minuscule amount of honey, just the perfect amount. And she's going to say, "Would you like to try this? This is usually how one would drink it."
I would love some.
Alright, so everyone, is there anything else you'd like to do in the Abbey before you continue? Or is everyone ready to head off?
Let's put some shoe leather to the ground.
Think I'm all set.
I think
so.
Alvara on the way out is just gonna see if she can step on this bench and peer into where Toro is. Is this window too high? How many feet?
The window
above
is
the
too
bench?
high.
How many feet above the bench is it?
Excuse me.
Enough to where you can't quite reach it.
I'm gonna turn to Mina as she's walking past and say, "Hey, Mina. Hey, Mina. Can you
What's
give me a
up?
little bit of a lift here?" And gesture towards the window.
Why don't we just go in and say our goodbyes?
It's not about that. I want to make sure something actually happened. That I believe happened. It's kind of confusing to explain, but I'm not fully trustful of our host, and I just want to check something.
Oh,
I could help you.
sure,
That
I'll
works
I'll
too.
give you a lift.
So I guess with both of them helping me.
Yeah,
Can I,
so
like,
you get lifted up, and because the window is right there, they see you peering through the window. And Solda, at first, she kind of like jumps a little, but then she smiles and she waves over to you as Turo is just resting against her gently.
I'm just gonna give a wave. Well, that was incredibly awkward. As we leave now,
Glad
before
I
we
could
wear out our welcome. Thanks.
Mina, before leaving, is going to fly in and leave a small bundle of nuts and berries for Toro.
Oh. Very
Don't
well.
accept that. It's a fairy.
Uh-oh.
It's a gift
Oh.
from the Fae.
They're gonna give Toro diarrhea.
Oh, God.
Oh,
That being said, will everyone do me the honor of switching over to the board of Nothome?
Northam.
how far away is Notham?
About
Day
half
walk.
a day's travel on foot.
Oh,
Now
Ooh,
this
I like
this is the
one.
town here.
What is the travel like?
The travel is honestly quite pleasant and quiet. It's not nearly as... Hold on, I'm trying to like find a good lighting. There we go, I like that. It's not nearly as treacherous as you might have been led to believe given the events of what has transpired last night and your experiences so far. Actually, the forest around this area is quite lovely. There is a crisp autumn air that flows through the day. You can hear the sounds of wildlife and birds around you. You don't see any harm. And the path that's ahead of you that leads to Nothome, it's well worn, but it also looks like it hasn't been traveled in quite a moment. And I'm going to place you guys now on the board as you travel. No danger finds you on this travel.
Cool.
3, 4, 5, 6.
DM.
Yes.
On the way here, would it be possible for Mina to look for various edible plants and stuff like acorns or nuts and berries in the woods?
Sure,
as
you can
we're-
roll a nature or survival check.
It's gonna be a survival check. for me.
Is anyone else looking for anything on the travel here, or just kind of walking along?
I'm just gonna do a general perception check just to see. Like, I want to be familiar enough with the terrain, with the environment, to see if I was familiar enough or could glean the type of threats or the type of just ecology, culture, things like that.
Okay, sounds good.
Humi is going to look for fey creatures, like fey animals specifically.
Okay.
So you're just following Mina around, is what you're saying?
So you see Mina.
Indeed.
May I use my inspiration to re-roll this?
You may.
Oh,
Audryn,
boy.
what'd you get?
12. Very good.
Okay, so Audryn, what you can tell what potential threats might be in this kind of area is your typical fare. You have the risk of running into typical forest-dwelling things, maybe like some wolves or some bears. You might even get the notion that there could or be goblins around the area, but however, you don't find any on your travel here.
All right.
Where did my dice go? It's not
I
popping
don't
up what I rolled.
know. Lumi,
I
what
rolled
did you roll?
14. I accidentally rolled again a 7. But
You don't
14 was
see any specifically fey creatures in this area besides Miss Mina and Miss Alvara.
All right.
Should it- So confused. Where did it
Where's your
go?
die? Just roll another one.
Yeah, just rolling again.
Oh, is
on
this
the
mine?
board, please? On the
here?
board.
I found it. It's by the tree. It somehow got over here.
What tree?
Do you see the circle I'm making?
No, just bring your
No.
die over.
Just bring it over.
Okay. I got a 15. Plus, so 21.
How? I don't even see that you've rolled on the board yet.
What?
It's
I'm
not
so
showing up
confused.
in the log.
It shows it's glowing 15, buddy.
Are you sure that's yours and not someone else's? That
Trying to get rid of this.
right click. If you can't right click it, it's not your die.
I can right click it.
Okay. Yeah, that was weird.
It's by the main church building, that tall pine tree.
Okay, just roll another one, please. Otherwise, we're gonna skip this.
All right. It's still not showing up. Where did it go?
Weird that it's not showing
Roll a
up.
new one.
I did. I just rolled a new one.
And it's gone?
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna say you find a handful of acorns and you find a few pine cones on the way here.
Okay.
Okay.
Look
So-
at the little fish in the map. I'm sorry.
I know, I
Like,
saw that
giggling
earlier.
looking at 'em. Oh, well, excuse me, you saw that earlier.
So
I
you
thought
travel.
It was cute. Shut up, Zach.
So you travel along the worn dirt road leading to Northholm.
Did you get your screenshot, Steve? I thought that would be a good moment for it.
I've gotten several actually, except I can't do one here because Audrin is facing the wrong way.
Oh, sorry.
Audrin!
I'll fix it.
He's doing that
Audrin!
intentionally. He's photobombing. I'm not gonna look at the camera.
Anyway.
Also, I
continue.
find it better when it's like organic instead of all of us posing ourselves.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna.
Too late.
So as you proceed, you make your way towards the town of Northholm, and as you get closer, you get a better look at what's around you. As autumn descends upon Northholm, there's a kaleidoscope of vibrant hues that paint the landscape in shades of gold, copper, and fiery red. The air carries a crisp and earthy scent, while a gentle breeze whispers through the ancient towering trees that surround the settlement. As you near Northholm, you'll notice the cobblestone streets that wind through the town, lined with quaint wooden houses adorned with their wreaths of dried leaves and pumpkins. There's lanterns flickering a warm golden light, greeting you to the town, and dancing shadows on the pathways as dusk settles in.
Oh, it looks like a quaint little town. It's lovely.
And as you approach, there is one guard on patrol. And he's just walking, making his rounds. And he sees you approach and he says, "Oi, you lot.
Oi, you!
Well, welcome to Northholm. What brings you here?"
We have urgent business with the mayor and others, and I'm gonna show I'm gonna flash the letters.
How come he got his lantern on in the daytime?
Maybe it's dusky.
He has bad vision.
Hey, what's that?
That is our business with the mayor.
And how should I know that?
What we're trying
you
to do is it's
question
a
everyone
harvest
who comes here?
festival.
Oh, you're here for the night of the Harvest Gala?
Yes.
Precisely.
Alright. If you make your way down the center of this road, you'll soon find the tavern. There should be some spots available for you. Enjoy your stay. Don't cause trouble, or we'll be seeing each other again.
Well, we absolutely would not want that.
And he continues to make his little patrol along the path. And welcome to Northholm.
Well, it's good to know
Alright.
that all you need to do to get through the town gates is to say you're here for the harvest festival.
And that's where we're going to call tonight's episode.
Sounds
Cool.
good. Yeah, it's good
Great
to be
work.
in a town again. I'm so excited. For this.
Numbers is just standing on the cliffside, soaking it in.
This might be his first time seeing civilization.
This is the first hill he's ever stood on.
That's the first I'll ever die on.
Alright, gang. Well
It's not
done.
been quite- yeah.
Round table.
Round table.
Round table.
Let's-
Round table.
Let's go around. We'll go down the line. Audrin.
All right. This is a tricky one. This one is tricky. I think I'm going to give it. Boy, this one's hard. Okay, I think I will give it to Alvara for actively engaging and maintaining reason to be suspicion and just kind of like pursuing that. I think there was a lot of in-depth thought put into that. Very good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Alvara.
I am going to give it to Humi today. I like the tarot readings.
Mhm.
I thought that was good. And he had a pretty active role today as well, so
Okay.
Humi.
And Valana.
I am going to give it to Alvara for literally saying out loud everything that I was thinking when it came to their suspicions. I was not very trustworthy of a lot of what was happening, or trusting of a lot of what was happening, and I felt like she did a really good job showing that and sticking with it, like Audrin said.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay. And Humi.
Honestly, it's kind of a toss-up between Valana and Mina. I really did like the little interactions with the coffee and whatnot, and also Valana, like, did good work with separating the tasks so that everything could be researched at once.
Speaking of
I
Mina,
really
I'm gonna
liked,
move her over to the party.
Yes, please do. I think I really did like Mina and their like analysis of the spider statue, but I think I'm gonna give it to Valana today.
Okay. And Mina?
I would actually like to give it to Audrin for unfortunately failing the sleight of hand roll, but succeeding on the deception roll.
That was man. Thank God for that. 'cause
That was
could've made
incredible.
crapshoot. I got lucky, and even that was probably barely passing.
Alright, and numbers.
I think I'm gonna give it to Humi for creative character usage. I like the tarot cards. Interesting.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay. So does that mean we have a tie?
We do.
I guess so.
think so.
I guess
And-
everybody gets it, including me, who nobody voted for.
In this circumstance, I think I will then be the tiebreaker, and the next inspiration, of course, will belong to the community. But to just make a tiebreaker, I'm going to say Alvara. You did a lot of everyone did a lot of work this campaign or this session, but you definitely had a lot of investigation going on, and I appreciate that.
Thank you.
So we'll say player inspiration goes to Alvara.
Yay.
Great job, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Woohoo!
All right, well,
This
this
is
was a
great
fun session. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. This has been fun as always, and I can't wait to get back next week. So we'll see everyone.
On roll for your life.
Woohoo!
Woo! Yeah, thank you for joining us, everyone.
Bye, everyone. See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I'll miss you.